This is a great mod that I feel is a little bit under the radar, and it's called New Landscape Grass by Ciprriano. Change the dry grass with pre-war grass. Cell not affected. New Landscape Grass V60 mixed with V5 variant pre-war grass, improve realism. New Landscape Grass version 5, fixed grass interior red rocket, setting range and density to look more realistic, better placement to look more realistic. Choose between New Grass Landscape V3, V3 Light, optional green leaf trees, and green forests. And that's about as far as the description reads. From personal use, I think I am a little bit more leaning towards version 5 versus version 6. Now, later on in the video, you'll see that version 6 has a bit longer grass, and in some areas, the version 6 grass goes right through concrete floors and so on. And it's a little immersion breaking, you know, when you run inside of a building at Sunset Trading Co-op, I believe it's called, where they have the computer and the one set of power armor that I set up, or maybe it didn't have that before. But when you run in there, you notice the grass is coming right through the floor. So I stick to version 5. I think that's the best, even though, you know, it isn't too real because the grass is just perfectly mowed in a post-apocalyptic world. So it's give and take. Like, if he fixes this mod where interiors don't suffer from the grass coming through floorboards or concrete, then I'll probably use that. I don't know. Any way you look at it, I still really enjoy this mod. And I think you will too if you want to see like something different versus the dead landscape of Fallout 4. I don't know. I'm one of the people who believe a few hundred years after nuclear fallout, the world would start to repair itself. Oh well. But what do I know? I'm no Stephen Hawking's. Here's another underrated mod in my opinion. It's called Minutemen Overhaul by Carol 2015. Now this mod is a Minutemen Overhaul, which I think was sorely needed in the game. This gives so many options for the Minutemen, it's just ridiculous. It adds over 120 new faces to the Minutemen. It allows you to control and recruit all Minutemen from across the wasteland to fight on your side. Patrols have been increased so that you will actually see Minutemen while playing. Adds a ton of new custom outfits to the Minutemen, as well as custom hats, bandanas, armors, and a ton of other stuff. 50% chance for laser muskets, 25% chance for variety weapons, 24% chance of modded laser muskets, and 1% chance of a minigun. All Minutemen besides Quest Minutemen will level to the exact level of the player. Adds dog armor to the Minutemen groups. The chance to get a Minuteman with armor is increased by 50% from 25%. The chances to receive Radiant Quest has been reduced from 25% to 15%. Artillery will now have slightly higher range and slightly higher blast radius for even more realistic feel. The flare radius has been increased, and the chance of gaining additional patrols has been increased. Recruit Minutemen mercenaries to come fight by your side as you work to free the Commonwealth. Now, the full version gives you all of these. The light version gives you half of these, and the super light version gives you less than half, maybe 1/3. It's truly up to you which one you want to use. Personally, I have tested this mod out myself, and I found that it's pretty cool. It works, it does what it says. I've tried the artillery strikes. Unfortunately, I don't have that on video, but it was a huge help in those ridiculous fights when you're just surrounded by gunners. And then there's some dude in power armor on top of a bridge. You just throw like a flare and let the fireworks go. Also, recruiting Minutemen to work with you, they're fairly competent, meaning they'll actually live the firefight. In fact, they're more useful than your companions, surprisingly. Additional features, like I said before, it's in a beta stage, so use at your own caution, as well as remember to back up your save files just in case something goes wrong. As the mod author says, back up your save files before installing this if you wish to try it. It should work, as I've tested and had no issues, but that doesn't mean anything. This will aim to clean up all the rocks and debris from around the castle. Right now, it is currently in the beta testing phase and is not attached to the main mod file. You can only use it by using the miscellaneous file. Please let me know if you have any issues while using this. I have added the appropriate reset flags to the castle locations. Basically, I have flagged it in the same manner that the player house in Diamond City is flagged, so it won't cause any resets for any players. I have fast traveled about 20 times with not one reset of power armor, but because it works for me doesn't mean it works for everyone. So for now, it will be beta testing until I know for sure it's working just fine for everyone who's tested. Thanks. Now, what the mod author has touched on is you can use this, but be wary that there could be resets. Now, you might not know what resets are. Resets, when you're modding Fallout in its current state since the GECK isn't out, sometimes some mods may conflict with your save files or other mods, causing power armor to reset. I've had this happen to me many times. You sit there, you customize a set of power armor, turn off the game, play again the next day, and you go back, your power armor is no longer T60 armor, it's T45 armor, and it's missing a leg and an arm, and all of your upgrades and customizations are long gone. So this is something to keep in mind if this may be a problem for you or worries you. But if you don't really use power armor, then who cares, right? Often people ask me, what ENB am I using? Now, depending on the video, the ENB can change. Also, there are instances where I'm using an ENB with a reshade from another mod offer. So I may be mixing 2 or 3 things together to create a very, very odd sort of Fallout that you probably couldn't find unless I told you the exact combination. And I do so much mix and matching, I often forget myself. But with this video, I do believe it is just currently running on the Photorealistic Commonwealth. It's an all-in-one weather, lighting, and visual overhaul mod. It's in version 3, and it's by L00. Now, I could go on to read you the entire thing about this, but it is not very long, so I think you could handle that yourself. And I will give you a link to everything you need. The installation is not very hard. It is a very cool look. The only thing that I find a little off-putting about this ENB is the fact that my character is often in the depth of field. The camera never focuses on my character, and sometimes when you're in a conversation with someone, you have to adjust the camera to see your character and get them out of the depth of field. It's a small gripe, but hell, it's only a version 0.3, and the ENB itself is in beta, so whatever. Any way you slice it, it's still better than vanilla or what consoles have to offer. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and thank you as always for tuning into my channel.